Hi, this is Michael William Denny of ThunderShamanism.com, and today I am excited, I'm really excited, to get started on a new video series about my latest book, which is called The Shamanic Secret Commandment to a Perfect Life, the Missing Ingredient to the Secret. So, I know that's a long title, but, as you know, I choose my words very carefully, and I'm going to talk to you about, what is really revolutionary in this book, and at the same time, it's something you've always known, you've heard it in one form or another, but it hasn't really been presented, at least in my experience, in this exact way. So now, listen, there's a difference between, reading the book and listening to videos. I write in a very specific way, and what I try to do is I try and guide the mind and the intellect to go in a certain path in order to reach a certain conclusion. Many people have said to me that, at first glance, the book, whatever they're reading, seems very simple, but they go back and read it again 2, 3, 4, 5 times, and each time they do, they get something new out of it. So that's important to understand. So I'm not going to be reading the book to you. You got to go and read the book to really get the benefit out of it. So I'm going to be talking extemporaneously about, more ideas and some of my thoughts and feelings surrounding it, so that you can understand where this book is coming from. So let's start with the first chapter. The first chapter is called There Is Only One Commandment. Now, I use the word commandment very specifically, and it's in the title there, The Shamanic Secret Commandment to a Perfect Life. The reason why I say there's only one commandment is because, we in the West, especially, we've been influenced by Abrahamic tradition that has 10 commandments. And most of us don't like these 10 commandments. For the most part, they're ridiculous. Ones that tell you, not to lust after your neighbor's wife. Well, you can't control feelings like lust. You can't, but you can control your actions. So that's what I mean. Those aren't, I'm not going to be giving you the 10 commandments, because the 10 commandments have not been helpful to society. They make people more repressed. They make people more angry. So I want to give liberation to people. So when I use the word commandment, it means that I've discovered something. And I want to point out to you that we have this idea that, first off, we go with the Abrahamic idea that's, God is telling you what to do, and you have to do this, and you have to do that. And we realize that's nonsense, and we reject it. And so we say, well, I'm free to do whatever I want, which is true. There are no constraints on me, which is true. But I've come to the conclusion that what I'm going to share with you is something that you've been taught before. Somebody has told you this before, what I'm going to tell you. But you have been told that it's kind of optional, and that you can do it at whatever level you want. And I'm here to tell you that based on my experience, personally, and with my clients and with my students, this is not optional. If you want to have happiness and fulfillment in life, you have to follow this one commandment to the letter fully. Otherwise, you're going to be denying yourself your highest potential in life. And that, when we deny ourselves our highest potential, it doesn't mean that we have a pretty good life. It means that our life starts to fall apart. And if you notice, when I tell you what this is, you're going to see that the people whose life are most successful and are most happy are people who follow this commandment as though it's the most important thing, and they do it 110%. Now that brings up something else, which is, well, why don't people do it all the way? And the reason for that is because our society, based on our last 1,500 years of existence, our society has been systematically trying to hypnotize us away from this, and in fact shaming us for following this one commandment. So here it is. I'm going to go ahead and tell you what it is, and it's in the book if you want to go read it. But that one commandment is this: you must live out your deepest desires. Now, I know you're saying to me, oh my God, really? It's just another New Age self-help book? No, because living out your deepest desires is not an option. And most people, even if they embrace this idea, most people live it maybe if you're lucky 75%. And what I'm saying is that it's not an option. If you don't live it out 100%, or I'm not trying to tell you have to be perfect. What I am saying is that you have to really go after it and make yourself the most important thing in this universe, and your happiness. Not anybody else's happiness or anybody else's thoughts for you, but your own happiness. And that there, at any given point in your life, there is at least one thing that gives you the greatest joy in life. And I'm willing to bet that a vast majority of you listening to me are not going after that one thing. You may know what that one thing is, or you may sense what that one thing is that gives you the greatest joy. And many of you go 3/4 of the way. Or you don't go after that one thing, but you go over this one, which is sort of kind of like it. And we limit ourselves because we want to be accepted in society. We want to be accepted by our parents, by our teachers, by our, whomever it is. And even if you say, no, I'm an adult and nobody tells me what to do. No, you've got patterns deeply locked in your unconscious mind that are controlling and oftentimes limiting you going after what gives you the greatest joy in life. So for me, being a good warrior, I like a good commandment. And the commandment is not given by God. It's not given by anybody else. It's given by you, your own soul. And I'll get to that. So through this book, if you look at the table of contents, what we're going to be talking about is not only what the secret commandment is, we're going to be talking about how to go after it, how to determine what it is, but most importantly, we're going to uncover the missing part of this that is talked about in the secret. And we'll talk about that. And we'll also talk about what's going on in your unconscious mind that keeps you, that sabotages you. And I don't care who you are. Your unconscious mind is working to sabotage you from achieving your highest satisfaction, your highest happiness. And I'm going to show you how to identify that and how to short circuit that so that you actually can live out this commandment. And I'll end this first installment with this. I can guarantee you, based on my experience and based on the people that I've worked with, if you follow this information in the book, even though you might run into challenges, I can guarantee you that your life will be completely transformed. And you'll start to understand what it is that's most important to you and what it is that you really want. And you can even eliminate disease, emotional relationship issues. It really is that one thing that can actually give you everything that you want. So go ahead and click on the link below. There's a link that will take you directly to Amazon where you can buy the book. If you want to work with me on a personal basis as a life coach or whatever you want to call it, click on apprenticeship. So that's it for now. Until next time.